You might be avoiding going after your passion because you think you are not talented enough. You look at all these successful athletes, business people, or artists, and you think, they got talent. They started early and got years of practice already. This kind of intimidates you and makes it so that you never start to practice something and you never start to become good at something. Over the years, you feel more and more miserable, more and more unhappy because you're not living your full potential. Talent just became the excuse for you to not get started. People who don't have talent but a firm belief in themselves that they can achieve whatever it is that they want often get exactly what they want. With enough time and practice, they know that they can get what they want. Furthermore, they often outgrow the person who is talented. Why is that? I'm Laurel, and in this video we're going to talk about why belief is more important than talent and how to become good at something without being talented. If you haven't yet subscribe to this channel, like this video, and let's start this. Talent is the natural ability to be good at something, especially without being taught. The word talented has been widely used to describe athletes, business people, artists, musicians, or any sort of people who are on top of their game. There seems to be this myth around very successful people that all it took for them to be successful was talent. But this cannot be further from the truth. Very successful people had one of these two things that I'm about to mention true. Either they had a talent, practiced for years, and had a firm belief in themselves, or they had no talent, practiced for years, and had a firm belief in themselves. No one is successful just because of talent. With talent, there always came years of practice and a firm belief in oneself. So what exactly is a belief, and how can we use a belief to master a skill, to become successful, and to live a meaningful life? A belief is the feeling of being certain that something exists or is true. The driving force of our behavior is beliefs. Whatever we think about other people, ourselves, and the world in general motivates our actions and dictates the direction we take in our lives. Examples for beliefs are about other people, everyone is always lying. About yourself can be, I'm not worthy of something. And about the world in general, life is hard, money is hard to make. Most of your beliefs got installed in childhood. What your parents and your caregivers told you about the world and yourself and other people to be true is usually what you absorbed in your belief system. All it took was for them to repeat it constantly, and you then took the lesson. Another way for beliefs to get formed is through traumatic experiences or by observing something over and over again. An example would be you always see your parents coming home exhausted after work, so you associate work with feeling exhausted. Beliefs don't only dictate what you experience in your life, they also dictate how you interpret what is happening in your life. And from these interpretations, your actions come. When it comes to developing a skill, any negative belief is detrimental to your skill development, and any positive belief is beneficial to your skill development. I give you some examples. A detrimental belief for skill development would be, I'm not good enough. A beneficial belief for skill development would be, I'm exactly where I need to be. Another detrimental belief would be, I can never be as good as this person or this person. A beneficial belief would be, there's always something to learn from another person. And the last example of a detrimental belief is, it takes hard work and sacrifice to be good at something. And the beneficial belief would be, I can master anything with enough time, practice, and patience. Be aware that beliefs are not always exact sentences in your mind. Often they come in the form of thoughts, emotions, aversions, and conclusions you take from experiences. Now that you understand beliefs a little bit better, let's look into why belief is more important than talent, and after that you're going to learn the steps for how you can master any skill without being talented. First, talent is inherent and belief is and can be developed. A talent is something that you were lucky to get, that you were naturally born with, while belief is something that your surroundings dictated. You can argue now that you had no control over your surroundings as much as you didn't have control over your talent. But the difference is that you now have control over your belief systems. Your surroundings directly dictated your belief systems, and this is the one thing that you can investigate and change. You have control over your beliefs now, but you don't have control over your talent. As a conscious and hopefully self-reflective being, you have the ability to reflect on yourself. You have the ability to see what your motives are, what you think about life to be true, and what dictates your behavior. A person who is very, very talented can have a lot of detrimental beliefs that prevent them from living that talent. A person who doesn't have any talent but has a lot of beneficial beliefs can then easily outgrow the talented person, because it does not just take talent to be successful and good at something. Talent, if unused, does not bring mastery and success. Number 2, talent makes arrogant while belief makes humble. A person discovers that they are talented usually because they notice their superior performance in a surrounding, or other people told them that they are good at something. The problem is that when a person knows they're good at something, they rely on their talent and they kind of become close to learning because they think they know it all. They rely on their skills so much that they close themselves to learning, especially from others. You, on the other hand, who doesn't have talent but a belief in yourself, start from scratch. You start with a blank sheet of paper, not knowing anything about the craft that you chose. So you learn all the skills, all the technique, and all the practices and mindsets from scratch. And you have to learn from other people. If you don't have talent, you have no other option than to be open to learning. Otherwise, you will never ever become good at this craft you chose. And lastly, number 3, the talented practice in the morning while the believers practice through the night. Talented people tend to practice less because, again, they take their talent for granted. They think that their talent can compensate for the lack of practice. On the other hand, you as a person who believes in yourself and does not have talent, or does not have as much talent as another person, needs to practice. You need to practice more to become better than the person who is talented. So you naturally invest more time, more energy, and more thinking into your craft because you have no other choice. You have no talent to rely upon your performance. There is nothing. You need to practice. So you tend to practice day and night. Interestingly, the strong work ethic and dedication you develop soon makes you outgrow the talented person. And on your path to mastery, this is the one thing that gets you exactly what you want. Consistent practice beats talent. And if you take one thing from this whole video, then please take the knowing with you that you can master any skill. With enough time, deliberate practice, patience, motivation, and self-reflection, you can master any skill you want. You can literally choose a craft, a skill, and master it. You don't need talent. You just need time and practice. Getting started with your practice, getting started at all, without necessarily knowing where to go, is the key to all mastery. Learning along the way, going, is the key. And I would really love to tell you and even like to show you through the camera how rewarding it is to practice consistently and to get consistent results. You need to see improvement with your own eyes. You need to see that when you put your time, effort, and energy into something, there is no other choice than for you to get better. It's all about making a choice and practicing regularly in order to become good at it. Any skill can be mastered. Let's talk about the 5 steps you can take to master any skill without having talent. Number 1, practice self-love. Love your weaknesses, your flaws, and everything that comes with it. Usually, your flaws and your weaknesses become your greatest strength because you have to go in there, see your weakness, admit to it, and then practice to get out of it. And here again, practice beats talent. But this is only possible if you love and accept your flaws and weaknesses. Self-love is a key ingredient to skill development. You will stumble across challenges, difficult times, and you need to love yourself in these. You will easily get discouraged and feeling hopeless. But if you love yourself and remember that this is a journey and this is about time and practice, you can go and you will go and keep going. Number 2, look at your beliefs. Look closely at what beliefs you have about the craft or the skill you want to master, about the world in general, and about yourself, and about the process of mastery. Look into your past, look into your family, look into your childhood and see what exactly their approach to mastery and skill development was, what you absorbed as a child. And then look into your life and reflect, what exactly is it that is maybe holding you back? What is making you difficulties? And investigate where that comes from. Reprogram your subconscious mind with beneficial beliefs for your skill development. I previously mentioned some beliefs that are very, very good to take on. And if you need further guidance on reprogramming your subconscious mind for mastery, success, wealth, and overall achievement and happiness, check the email in the description box below, send me an email, and I'll show you a plan for how you can do that. Number 3, practice deliberately and consistently. Schedule practice during your day. Schedule time to really focus deliberately on what you are about to master. Remove all distractions and bring all of your attention into the craft. Follow through with your practices and make your practice the non-negotiable. Just say, I'm going to do this no matter what. Number 4, pause, reflect, and educate yourself. Pausing is important for skill development and for mastery. You need to pause and have times of not pushing and forcing yourself. You need time to allow the mind to process all the information and to come up with new creative ideas. Constantly reflect on your practice. Reflect on your mistakes, think about what you did right, what you did wrong, and then learn from that information and do it differently. And lastly, educate yourself. Especially if you don't have talent or little talent, you need to read books, you need to go to seminars, you need to search for mentors and learn from them. But make sure to not only learn, make sure to also implement what you learn. Don't just feed the mind blindly and then have fun. Learn, practice. And number 5, be patient. I know it seems like as though there are so many overnight successes. Everyone just became successful overnight and everything was perfect. But all this overnight success was the result of years of practice. It just does not happen blindly. The way is unexpected and the time is unexpected, but everything that led to that overnight success was deliberate. So be patient with yourself. Stay on track, stay on the journey, and keep doing what you are doing. Results are made and not waited for. And that is it. You don't need to be talented to become good at something. All you need is a belief in yourself that pushes you forward, that makes you become better, that makes you practice more, and that makes you enjoy this process. This is not a chore. This is an amazing thing, an amazing time to be alive. So make sure you choose something that you really, really want to practice. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, share it with a friend. If you're interested in coaching, send an email to the email in the description box below. And I hope to see you in the next video.